Welcome, everybody, to our 64th episode of Conscious Gatherers. My name is Beverly Thompson, and I'm here with AJ Royce.
Hello.
Well, welcome. And today is the March the 22nd, 2022. And a few things have come to our consciousness in the last few days. And as you know, in previous episodes, we like to share what comes forth. And so today's episode, we're going to talk a lot about honesty. Because right now, as the reveal is showing itself, we need to be honest with ourselves and everyone and everything that we act with, react with, because we affect the whole. And to remember that we affect everything. All eyes have been on this earth, and we've talked about that in previous episodes, and do realize that the importance of each and every one of you, because everything is within us, and that's why we're so darned important as human beings on this planet. So it's pretty amazing. And also, I had mentioned this last episode that I am working on my fourth book, and in doing so, I came across something I wrote in 1998, and it was called Gaia. And it basically says that Gaia is, this is many years ago, she had called forth to share her body with the essence of man, God, as she called it, man, God, so she too can learn about her God self, realized as part of all that is. And it also went on to say that her form is more than this planet you call Earth. Her being is the star system known as Antibula. It's a name given to me. She reaches into other galaxies. Know this part of the Earth is in her heart chakra, so to speak, for the love that is extended here has a profound effect on all her parts. And so, talk about the awakening, honesty is all part of that. And do remember the importance of what is going on right now and what is being revealed across the world and what is being revealed within us. So there you go.
And from what I understand, Gaia very much feels what is going on with us as human beings living upon her. So the more we can be truly in touch with ourselves and at ease with our own selves, the more she can be at ease too.
Mm-hmm. Years ago, we had talked about a lot of earth changes going on, and seeing earth changes. I'm not so sure a lot of these earth changes are going to happen because more people awaken and understand who they are as these magnificent beings, the more that does this really need to happen, and does Gaia, as we change in our frequency, so does she. Mm-hmm. And so, some of those imbalances that were happening at one time, she gets more balanced, as do we.
Yes.
So just think about all of that, because everything that you say, every word, every thought, every projection, remember, you create your own reality. And so be honest in all of that. And it's really important. And so today, as Royce and I and another friend, Nance, were talking, well, actually, Nance was earlier, but anyway, as Royce and I were talking, other words that came forth and thoughts that we've all, I'm going to say fed into, and still feed into, mm-hmm. And you start thinking about these things. It's like, wow, do we need to make this a part of our life? And that is, again, being honest with yourself. And we're going to go through some of those things that we had talked about. All right. One thing that came up is the word truth, or being truthful, and honesty. Are they the same?
No. Truth can be subjective. And so it can be, it's not a constant thing. It can be like the wind blowing in the wind. But honesty is very personal. It goes very deep. So that's how I distinguish the two, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Because the more we grow within ourselves, I can use that term, grow, awaken within ourselves. It's a better word.
Mm-hmm.
More we awaken in ourselves, then our truth, so-called truth, may change because that's the way we're understanding it. And remember, we're creating our reality.
Yeah.
And we're so much bigger than what we are here, just on this earth plane.
Yeah, we don't fit in a human body. Won't hold us.
Won't hold us.
But we have that to anchor us here on this planet.
But remember the importance of this physical body.
Yeah.
It's extremely important to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a hero to stay up all night and work on something unless you want to. But it's up to you. But some people think I have to do this, have to do that, and I've been that way. Can I be more productive? And because I don't feel like I'm doing my job if I'm not productive and seeing something happen. And you may be just as productive for the earth sitting and listening to music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be all the doing stuff. All right. One of the things that the word we talked about is the word shoulds. The shoulds get into a judgment. So I should do that. We should call them. I should do this. I should clean the house. I see dust. I should. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And you may not feel like it at that moment, if it's cleaning the house or whatever it may be. And so, take a look at that. Can you back from doing that? And another day you might feel energetic and you feel good about doing it. I know I do. So, and that goes with everything in your life.
Yeah, and if you're looking towards at somebody else's life and say, well, they should, whatever it is, they should have done something or another. That's coming from a single perspective, not seeing the whole picture because you don't know what's going on in that other person's life.
Yeah, yeah. And another word, big word, is obligation.
That's a very heavy word.
It is. And so what does obligation mean? And we got obligation to our family, to our friends, acquaintances, or to any cause. I mean, all kinds of things that we feed. Maybe I shouldn't use that word, feed into, that we take upon ourselves. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it's like, are we obligated to do something that we desperately don't want to do?
Yeah, like the feeling that you have to reciprocate if somebody does something for you. Now, if you want to, if you're doing it from your heart, it like exchanging energy for, like if somebody does something for you, it's a nice thing to be able to keep the energies balanced. So, if you look at it more like that, instead of feeling like you're obligated or you have to reciprocate because somebody expects it of you, then.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other side of the coin, so to speak, on the obligation, can't say the word, reciprocation. Anyway, if it comes from the heart and you really want to do somebody's done something nice for you, which has happened to me lately, and I just so appreciated the help I'm getting. And so I said, gee, I'd really like to do something for you. And so I do. And their first words are saying, no, you don't have to, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I want to.
Yeah.
So if you're the other person's honest with themselves, now they can say, I don't want to. That's their prerogative. But if they want to do something that you want to do for them, then be open to it. Because, that person, for me, it comes from my heart. I really want to do something for you, and here's something I can do for you.
And here's another spin. If you offer something that, in payment for something somebody has done for you, and that other person does not want to receive that, and they say, well, I would rather you do this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
What if you don't want to do that? Are you going to be honest with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and say, I really didn't want to do that?
Mm-hmm. Or I'm not, I use the word uncomfortable.
Yes. So that kind of opens the door for conversation,
Mm-hmm.
And it opens the door for the other person to be honest too, So, great things could come from
Mm-hmm.
that.
And we're learning to not to take these things personally.
Yeah.
Because as Roy said, each of us have our own, how did you say that? Talking about truth can be subjective and or single perspective is what you were saying.
Yes.
And so, what's that other person thinking, or how do they feel? So it's a multitude of perspectives, and I think that's what makes this world so great, because we're coming from such a array of perspectives that we enjoy one another and appreciate where they're coming from, where we're coming from, and we can combine our talents or not. Or your talent may be in artwork, like Miss Royce's is, and I do a different type of artwork, and so there's that reciprocation.
Yeah.
So if even you need that I can't say the word, reciprocation. So you start thinking about this, it's like, it's being honest, what makes you feel good?
Yeah.
So as you Roy said, it's from the heart. And do remember, how does that feel within you? And if it feels like if it grabs you and not feeling good, you're like,
And that's telling you you're not being honest with yourself. We need to think about this a little bit more.
And if you decide to do something, be it something that you're not real comfortable with, but that person's such a good friend, you would do it anyway.
Yeah. And you kind of let go then and just do.
You do. It's opening your mind, because you're going to get a lot out of it, perhaps, versus a closed mind. If I do that, then, if you don't want to do it and you're thinking, if I do that, then this is going to happen, then this and this and this. And so that you can feel that energy, even my voice.
Yeah, it's going to be sour.
Yeah. And so remember that as we're moving along on this planet and awakening within ourselves, just doing something because you feel obligated to, and you're not happy with that, then you're not only pulling your own energy down, you're pulling all of us down.
Yeah, including Gaia.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So do remember that, this connectivity we have, and it's okay if you don't want to do something, or if you do. So it depends if you want to go with an open mind or a closed mind, or go with an open mind. If it still doesn't feel good, then don't do it, or whatever. So, and you had mentioned the word expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's expected of us? And then it's like, okay, sometimes we'll step out in the open and do some things that we've done for many years. And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't really feel like doing that anymore.
Yeah, then it's time for something new.
Yeah. And other people may expect you to do it because you've done it all along. And
if you're honest with them and say, listen, my heart is not in this anymore.
Yeah.
And they'll appreciate you being honest with them.
Yes. So the more honest you are with yourself, you're honest with them.
Yeah.
So, and the other word along with expectation is the word tradition.
Yeah. Tradition.
Yep. Well, we've always done it this way. Yeah. Why do you want to change it? Or do you want to change it?
Yeah. And you don't have to change it.
No, you don't. That's where we're talking.
If you're happy, feels good,
then do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I was thinking about today is since the Easter's coming up in about 3 or so weeks, I was thinking, well, one tradition is the Easter egg hunt. And I have little grandchildren. And so, obviously I love it, but I can see their little faces too. So they enjoy it too, and the parents. So, so I've made that so-called tradition. But should my grandkids and my children, adult children, not want to do it anymore, that's fine too.
But you brought up something there.
What?
How far are you going to go with the story that goes with it? Are you going to say that something laid those eggs up in the tree or out in the grass and it was filled with candy? Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest that it's a tradition that you're passing down, and yeah, there's parts of it that's silly and parts of it that are very wonderful. So just be careful with what you pass on and what traditions you choose to keep.
Does that mean we have to give up the Easter bunny? Usually kids figure that one out rather quickly.
Yeah.
But if they start asking questions, be honest with your kids.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but when you find out as a kid that something was a lie, then your feelings are hurt that you were lied to. And we don't need to do that to our children any longer. So please be honest.
Because if they can't trust their parents, they're gonna lose a lot of their respect.
Yeah.
It's that respect. The more honest you are.
Family foundation, it chisels that away.
Mm-hmm. And then the foundation is important for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some people not, because their family is their friends.
Yeah.
Not blood, but
yeah.
And that's going to happen, and that's fine. But remember, everybody's going to have their own. That's the right words. I was going to say traditions. That's not the right word. Their own way of doing things, and let it be. It may not be what you like, but that doesn't mean you have to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as talking about expectations and tradition, again, are you doing this for you? Are you, or is this something that's, again, expected of you? Hence, like Easter egg hunt or whatever it may be, Christmas time, buying presents, whatever it may be. And so it's like, no, I don't have to do this. If I don't want to do it, then speak up. But the biggest thing is to speak up.
Yeah.
So, that's that. And respect the self, and others will respect you even more.
Yep.
And that, basically, that's all karma. Talking about the word karma. What is karma? Cause and effect.
Yeah, these days, that sort of thing comes back around to bite you very quickly.
Sure does.
If you're not honest, expect to fall flat on your face.
If not, it's going to be in your face.
That's right.
And so, if something happens and you're not being totally honest with one of your children or friend or whatever it may be, and then it might eat at you.
Yeah.
And because you're going to feel that inside, and it's okay. You can go back and say, "Hey, I wasn't being honest, and I apologize."
And it feels good when you do that, when you find that you have wrapped yourself up in a web. The only way out of that is to own up to it and to make it right. So when you make it right, it's like, oh man, I really had no intention of doing this, but this is what happened, and yep, I did it, and I don't want to do it. I want to take it back.
Yeah.
Feels wonderful.
It does. It's like, just think how your shoulders feel.
Yeah. Weight off your shoulders.
Yeah. How well are you sleeping at night? I mean, all of this stuff, it feeds into anxiety and all kinds of problems that you may have within your body. So it affects your body, it affects the earth, it affects everything. So again, take care of yourself. And this is one way to do that.
Yeah, and I can speak from that because my gut will get all tied up in knots, and it's no good for me. It's no good for my surroundings. No good for the earth. No good for nothing.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing with what we're talking about today and being honest, and as we started off this episode about the great reveal, and there is the time of the revelations. It's happening, and so there's things that are going to be said that's going to shock a lot of people. I've been told it's going to rock the world. I was told that quite a while ago, and so be honest with yourself. But and there's going to be a lot of people that react, and the more calm you are, and you may say what, but to be excited about it, you might be a little bit, but then calm down and realize what's going on, because what's out, what we see in the outer world is also from our inner world. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does to me.
Yeah. Can you expound on that a little bit?
No.
All right. And so, all right.
I'm only being honest.
There you go. It's these, I guess, these expectations we have on our leaders of our various countries, are people that we look up to, and also we're going to find out some not so nice things. Okay. And so, a lot of finger pointing or whatever, maybe to the other person, you're going to find out, whoa, that person, they weren't honest in what they were doing and how that affected us, in our world, our economy. I mean, it's from what I'm hearing, it's going to affect everything.
Yeah, and it's a wake-up call. It's like, look at where we allowed ourselves to go,
mm-hmm.
what we took part in. Do we really want to do that anymore? So it's a time to make choices.
We're all participants.
Yes.
We're all part of this, no matter what.
Yes.
So just a real quick on the economical aspect of what's going on in the world. There's going to be some more topsy-turviness, so to speak, but the whole outcome is going to be wonderful. So do remember that. Don't freak out, but just remain calm, because things are going to turn. From what I'm getting, it's going to be absolutely wonderful economic system that we're going to go into. So I was told years ago, they called it what I was told, it was basically called a unity financial system. Not the same currency, but a system. And so I may not be called that, but that's basically what it is. So I feel that is happening now.
And so what do you do in that type of situation? You make sure that you have what you need for, a bit of time. And that's preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
All of us should do that anyway.
Yes, just for the changeover, or if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just be prepared, have some food and whatever else you might need. Don't push the panic button. If you can keep from doing that, that would be great.
Mm-hmm. Because that doesn't serve anybody.
Yeah.
And causes more anguish within you, and then that travels out. So as far as, have your own provisions. Help those that cannot help themselves, but and just lend a hand, and do it with kindness, with gentleness, reassurance. And if you need reassurance, and you can get that. A lot of people are there to be there for you.
Yeah,
and
but
with
if
you.
they don't know that you're suffering, then
speak up.
Yeah,
speak up. Another way is, as we talked about meditation or something. Just go within, but be patient when you do that,
mm-hmm.
and especially if you're not used to doing that. And they say, I don't hear anything. I'm not getting this. I'm not getting that. Well, it's okay, but you're going to get it in many different ways.
Yeah.
And as long as you quiet yourself long enough, and you can feel that warm feeling within you, then that really does help.
Yeah. And, we have a friend that says, well, I don't really get anything. I just see the pretty colors. That's wonderful. Those colors mean something. And there are books that will help you to figure out what those colors mean.
Mhm.
So that's a start. And with time, more will come.
Mhm. And then you start amazing yourself.
Yeah.
Which has happened throughout the years that I've been doing this, and go back. I think in the 80s, when I started getting a little more active in the 1980s, getting a little more active in the awakening process, and just so-called looking back into this so-called timeline. It's where I've come. It's amazing to me if you really look at my understanding now to where it once was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, be patient with yourselves too. So honest, patience, truth, of course, which is all part of the programs. We mentioned programs, but that's our true selves. All right. Do you have more you want to bring up?
Well, we were talking about living our convictions. I think that got incorporated into what we were saying. And you told me about somebody who had hurt feelings because they weren't included in a gathering of some sort, because they were not doing something that the rest of the group was doing. So if you really do whatever it is that you do, and you are convicted in that, you live your convictions, then it doesn't matter if you get excluded from some kind of a gathering. Just know that you are true to yourself.
And you eventually let it go.
Yes.
And that goes with a lot of family stuff that's going on. If you're excluded from the family because you wouldn't do this, a mandate, leave it at that. And that has separated a lot of families. So it's like, if that person was hurt because they were not included, they didn't know about it until later, until after the fact. And so a lot of hurt feelings. And okay, another way to look at it, if there are a group of you that, I'm just going to say it, had the shot, and one of your family members has not, and so you don't want to include them, you can say so.
Yeah, but be honest.
Be honest. And, they have, at least they know about it.
Yeah.
You didn't go behind their back.
Blindsided.
Yeah. Because family things are, family are close, and they mean a lot to us. So, it's like, don't hide that information. If you feel that person's going to find out, it's like talking behind their back.
Yep. And we were talking about friendship. If you have people that you actually call your friends, but you're not really honest with them about whatever, if you feel like you have to, tell a little white lie here, a little white lie there, then what kind of a friend is that? They must not be very close, or else you wouldn't be lying to them. So, give that some thought. If somebody is somebody that you call your friend, just be honest from the beginning. Put it right out there. Whatever it is about yourself, about your life, about what you want to do, it doesn't matter. Just be honest and develop a true friendship. Because I tell you what, real friends are few and far between, but they are the greatest of treasures. And I'm sitting here looking at one right now, and I have tears in my eyes.
Oh, thank you. If there is a reaction, then they aren't true friends.
Yeah.
So do remember that. So thank you. And we have friends here, and of course, Royce is one of them, that can be totally upfront, honest, and I do not get offended.
Yeah, some of the things that we're now able to say to each other, we just stand there and start laughing.
Yes.
Because we know that, it wasn't that long ago that we wouldn't have gone that far.
Yeah.
the honesty is just, oh man, it's so freeing.
Mm-hmm. Talking about freedom. We've been talking about that all along. So it is part of that whole freedom program. Freedom that we feel, and as sovereign beings. Well, thank you. Is there anything else that you want to say on this subject?
Let me see. I don't think so.
All right. Well, our next episode will be April the 5th, 2022, and anybody that wants to listen live, they can. It's on our YouTube page, that phone number, but it is also it's free conference call. The phone number is 267-807-9601 with the access code of 793-152-247#. And then you can connect with us live, and any questions, comments you have during our live podcast, you're welcome to ask. And I don't believe we had anybody on tonight, which is just fine. But if anybody wants to do that, please do call, and then you'll be directed where to go. Any other questions that you have for us? Again, you can put comments on our YouTube page, or you can, if you want to contact either Royce or myself, and Terry, you can hear him in many of our earlier episodes. But that phone number for any questions, or if you want to talk to anybody personally, let us know. That number is 864-999-3008. Well, again, thank you, and have a wonderful week or 2 weeks. I hear a lot of things are supposed to happen in the next couple of weeks, so just breathe, stay centered, love yourself totally, wholly, and be honest.
Yes.
All right, and good night. Did you have anything you want to say good night?
I just wanted to say that I am so grateful to be a part of this, and to be able to say with great and deep honesty that I love all of you, and I'm grateful for all of you, each and every one of you. And if you come at the end of the day and you look back over it and you feel like that there hasn't been anything that's been worth very much, I want you to know that I love you, and that I know that you are worthy of the greatest of love. So keep that in your mind and in your heart. And I am so grateful that you stayed.
Well, I love the word worthy, and I've used the word powerful, and we are extremely powerful beings, and it's time for us to know that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.